All right. I'm going to tell you one right now. There was a story. I think this is one of the first real... Okay, this isn't a really good interaction, but this is one of the first interactions I had with Alex, right? So I'm at this college party, right? We both go to the same college. We both know the same people. You might actually remember this, Alex. I think we've talked about it before. I was interested in this girl named Jackie, right? And we were all mutual friends and everything else. So Jackie was going to have this, like, have a few people over to go have a party, right? So goes in, she's having a party. We're all invited. I had this, like, big ass crush on her or whatever. I go to this party. Yeah, this isn't a good look for me. Anyway, it's uni. All right. So we're at uni for those. So anyway, so I go to this party, right? The party starts at like 8 o'clock. She says to have everyone start coming at 8. We're like, all right, cool. So I show up at a little bit before 8 because I'm one of those people that if I show up on time, then, you know, whatever. Anywho, I show up. I start drinking before like a lot of people show up because I didn't know etiquette. When a party starts at 8 o'clock, the party starts at like 9 or later, right? You tell people 8 o'clock so you can get shit ready and whatever, right? Yeah, nerd, I know. Fluffy pancakes is the correct answer too, by the way, hostile. Anyway. Nerd. So I show up at the time the party's supposed to start. Here I am, like, not 21-year-old yet me, right? Going to a college party at someone's house, about to have a good time, whatever. Another friend from high school is there, and we start drinking. Pew Pew, aka Alex, shows up at 9 o'clock when the rest of the party gets there, right? Pizzas are ordered when people show up, right? Whole bit. I am about 3 drinks in and about a shot in at this point, right? I've had a power hour to remember. Me and my buddy from high school, we're chatting it up, having a good time, just pounding down drinks, whatever. Pizza shows up a half hour later, like 9:30. I eat like a slice of pizza. I go back down, mingle, have a good time. Legitimately, 10 minutes after eating that pizza, I have the worst, absolute worst urge to go vomit. Okay? Go upstairs, you know, get sick, have a good time, right? Okay? So here's the thing, right? So here's the thing amongst all of this. So here's the thing. My savior for that evening was Alex. He shows up, right? He goes, hey, by the way, okay, I drove to the party, right? So, I drove to the party. I couldn't drive home. I'm ruining the party for everybody because I'm up there like getting sick and being obnoxious, right? So, Alex, a good friend who, by the way, I didn't know all that well going into this party, right? I knew him from a friend of ours, Growl, Growl, who's the person who we knew each other in high school, but we never really interacted, and that's not the point. Anyway, so he drives my car home, my shitty Ford Escort 2-door car, that's important later, takes my car back to my house, right? Okay. Drives my car back to my house. Someone drives with him so then he can drive back, right? So someone else drives back to my house to then figure it out, right? So I'm in the back seat of my car because I needed to lay down because I was not in good condition. Anyway, on the way home, I have to throw up again. I have to go vomit my brains out. I'm in the back seat of my two-door car. All right. I lean out the window of my car, passenger seat, not the driver's side. I have class. And I just let it rip on the side of my own car. Alex, being the saint that he is like, are you feeling okay, bro? Right? I'm like, obviously I'm feeling like shit, but I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better now that I'm like vomiting up all this pizza and all the alcohol I've drank for the past hour. Drops me off, not at my house, mind you, okay? Drops me off down the street from my house, because if I pulled up, my dogs would bark, my mom would know I'm home. I'm pissed drunk. It's 9 o'clock. I'm not supposed to be driving. If I drove up in my car 9:30, drunk as a skunk, my mom would have my head, right? A friend of mine named Brian Sweeney, follows us home, right? So then him and I can hang out while I sober up a little bit before I walk home. Brian is also a saint in this situation. Alex, then, by the way, there's like a 3-car caravan to drive my drunk ass home, ruining the party for basically everybody. So there's a 3-person caravan. Brian, my buddy, then picks me up in his car and we just drive around town for a little bit. We hang out, we stop a couple places to sit and relax and whatever. Alex goes back to the party. From what I understand, after Alex left to take me home, the party just deflated, right? Nobody wanted to like hang out because I just fucking ruined it for everybody. Because everyone shows up, pizza shows up, and then someone has to take my dumbass drunk ass home. So then like the party's basically over at that point. So here I am, some like idiot 20-year-old trying to fit in and have a good time, end up ruining this party for everybody. And I mean everybody involved. And I can't sit there and like be happy about like doing this to people. So like later next week, right? I'm at school. So next week I'm at school and I see but like I heard like the air kind of got deflated from the party because everyone shows up and then this like drunk idiot has to be taken home and like 6 people leave to like have a 3-car caravan drive my ass home. So anyway, so I go back to school the next week and let me tell you, I feel like absolute dog shit because the person who organized the party I had a crush on and was trying to like be friends with more than just like acquaintance because I thought she was cute and she was a nice person and whatever else have you. So she invited me to the party. I thought it was super cool. And I'm just this drunk idiot, right? So school happens on Monday. We all go back to school and I just get the look of death from everybody. Everyone looks at me like, bro, are you okay? Like, because I fucked up this party. I had, I ruined half the people's night. And here I am, like, I know Alex. And he's one of these people that until you get to know him, he's a very intimidating person. because one of the first comments ever mentioned to him is that he knows martial arts. Super nice guy. He can kill you. The first two things, you know, well, yeah, you and I are about the same. I think you're an inch taller than me, but it's not the point. So anyway, so these are the two things you hear from him. You hear he's a super awesome dude, which is obviously the case because he drove my drunk ass home after not knowing me all that well. And from that, I see him on Monday. He's like, hey, buddy, how you feeling? And I was like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm like this dog with the tail between my legs, fucking embarrassed. I feel awful. I feel like I ruined people's night, right? So I'm just this dog with a tail between my legs for like a week at school. And I'm just like, guys, I'm sorry. So then I'm the butt of everyone's joke for about a month, right? Because we're in college, we're a bunch of idiots. So we just talk about, hey, remember that time that Midge was at a party for like an hour and had to get sent home drunk? Yeah, I was the butt of everyone's joke for a while. So I've known Alex that long, and that was one of our first real true engagements as human beings, besides us knowing each other from like other circles that were connected and lines crossed and swords touching and all these other things. So that was my first like experience meeting Alex, and he took my drunk ass home and had I mean, I guess like it's one of those things that if it would have been anybody else, honestly, that at that party, they would have never have talked to my ass again. Swords touching. Don't worry about it, Yellow. Don't worry about swords touching. All right. There may have been sword touching at some point in our lives. Not mine with Alex's. Don't worry. That's not how that happened. But hey, no judgment free zone here. But to like, yes. Yes. So yeah, that's the story of how I so that's kind of the story of how it's mutual, right? Let's just let it just hey. That's my story of how I met Alex. How I like officially met him. I was drunk as a skunk. That's a way better story. I have never touched swords with another person, okay? That I know of, all right? I've been drunk a few times. I don't... Hey, whatever. But that's my story of how I, like, truly met Alex, all right? So here's the thing. My daughter now goes to does karate lessons at his place. It's not technically his place, but he's the main sensei there, right? Shifu. So I'm like, my daughter wants to take karate. So we go to the local place that just so happens to be his, partially his. And I walk in and I see him and I go, I haven't seen you since college. The last fondest memory I have of you is beating up other friends of mine mutually. They they let him beat him up. Like the people let him hurt them. And the time I got so drunk, he had to drive my ass home. And then I see him and I go, it's called training, damn it. I mean, you're not wrong. So here I am, like, chit-chatting, having a good time, and I'm like, I see him, and I go, of course this would be his. Like, they've got places all over the area. Of course this is his. Of course I have to face this man as someone who has a kid who's 6 years old now, and I have to stare you in the face and understand that one of our best experiences together was one of my worst experiences ever, and that's me hanging out the back of my car with the head out the window like a dog, vomiting because I had too much to drink in the first hour of a party. Then having a 3-car caravan to make sure that my ass gets home, and then going back to the party that I basically ruined. That is my experience with him. So that I go up to the party, I go up to